Doodly 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 doo. Doodly 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 doo. Dun dun dun. Yeah, right, everybody. It's week 13 NFL. Thanksgiving week. That was the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving theme song. For those who are not familiar with the 1973 animated classics, probably the most underrated Charlie Brown episode of all time. I mean, there's really only two others anyway, but you know what I'm saying. We're getting ready for some week 13. I just picked up Thanksgiving meal. I'm taking it home. It's Wednesday night, and so my car smells like Thanksgiving right now. So there you go. Let's start off with the big games on Thanksgiving. You get Chicago at Detroit to start off your day. QB problems on both sides. Two teams that are out of it. I don't trust anybody in fantasy here. I'll take the Bears because their defense used to be good, and they might be good tomorrow, but that's about it. And then you get the the middle game. Cowboys are hosting the Bills. Obviously rough loss Sunday against New England. And listen, Garrett's got to go. I've been a big supporter of him for a long time, but the breaking point for me was when I read that they don't look at the in-game analytics as far as win probability, and that's just if you want to tell me because they went for the field goal instead of going for it on 4th and 7, which in the moment I thought that was the right move to kick the field goal. Because they still had time. They had all the timeouts, and you need 10 points to win the game anyway, or 2 scores to win the game anyway, so it really doesn't matter what order you get them in. But, later you find out that the win probability, which I did not have access to at the time, but the win probability is favors going for it on 4th down in that spot versus kicking a field goal. And, if you want to tell me that, yeah, we looked at it, but because of this, that, or the other thing, we felt that the other thing was... kicking the field goal was the better move, and it wasn't that much of a difference. Whatever. I could at least accept that. But when Garrett after the game says, "Well, we don't look at that data during the game," well, then what the hell are you doing? Like, what the hell are you doing? And you're not ready to coach NFL football in the 21st century. I mean, this isn't the, this isn't the 60s. This isn't the 70s where football was basic. There was basic strategy and limited things that people could do, and you had to just kind of fit within that frame. But we have all this advanced data now, and I'm not saying you gotta do win probability every single time. If it's early in the game, it's a little bit more suspect. But when you're late in the fourth quarter, there's only so much that can happen from that point on, versus earlier in the game when there's still a lot of game left. So again, if you're just going to ignore the data, then you're not ready to be a coach in modern day NFL. So you got to go. Enough's enough. And listen, he's lucky there's a game on Thursday, because I think Jerry might have left him in New England if they didn't have a game coming up Thursday. And we'll see what happens. I still don't think Jerry would make the move in season. I think Garrett will be gone after the season, which is fine, but. I don't know what that leaves us this year anyway. But listen, even if we beat New England, we're still going to be the 4 seeds. We're still going to win the East, and we still got to go that road to the Super Bowl. But and the other thing is, the team's not prepared. Again, you're down 10 points in the game. They're down early every single game, and it's just not acceptable. It's just your team's not ready to play, and we can't have that anymore. Enough's enough, and listen, I don't know if the Cowboys could turn around, but at the end of the day, they're talented enough where they can make a run for 3-4 games in January. They're going to obviously need a lot to go their way for that to happen, but they have the talent to do it. But, doing it obviously is another thing. But I'm tired of hearing about Cowboys haven't been a team that's 500, or the Cowboys don't have a signature win this year. What does that even mean? I don't like. there's only one signature win every NFL season. Is who wins the Super Bowl. All right, it's like, congratulations, you won the Super Bowl. Sign here. Like, the Cowboys don't have a signature win. So what does that mean? So they're not capable of getting one. They're not gonna get one at some point. I mean, we still got 5 games left, and who even cares if they have who even remembers the signature win of a team that didn't win the Super Bowl in the middle of November? I mean, it's just I've had it with guys on TV say the same stupid thing over and over again. Yeah, the Cowboys don't have a signature win, and they haven't beaten a team over 500 yet. But all right, so what? They're not going to? I mean, what? I don't understand. They can't. I mean, we still got games to play. We got to play them. So, just shut up and let's see what happens. Again, is it likely? Probably not. But in the NFL, when you have the talent, you can turn it around quickly. And the Cowboys have the talent. They got to slap it together, and they got to slap it together when it counts. They still have a chance to do that. Who knows if they will? But I'm just getting tired of hearing this. So anyway, they're going to beat the Bills this week, and then they'll have a win against a winning team, and then they'll have a signature win. And who gives a shit? And even if they beat the Bills, well, you beat the Bills. So it doesn't matter what you do. Everybody just likes to run their mouth. And guess what? 31 teams don't win the Super Bowl every year. So guess what? Your team's not winning either. So, but there you go. And then you get the late game Thursday night. New Orleans is at Atlanta. Atlanta suddenly was feisty for a couple of games. Then they looked terrible against Tampa. Saints, probably won't get lulled to sleep this time around. I'll take the Saints to win because I got to start Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray in one of my leagues. I need them to have big games here. So I'll take the Saints. Then we go down to Sunday, the early games. The Jets are at Cincinnati. The Jets are the Jets in the playoff hunt? Did I read that somewhere based on their standings and what their remaining schedule is? I mean, listen, they took apart the Raiders last week, which, normally wouldn't be a big deal, except that the Raiders were playing well, and they got caught with their pants down because they got the Chiefs this week. But Cincinnati going back to Andy Dalton because they're trying not to go 0-16. They'll probably still go 0-16. I'll take the Jets here, but buyer beware, because just when you think the Jets have it together, they go and they'll lose to an 0-11 team. So just be careful here is all I'm saying. I'll take the Jets. Then we got Tennessee and Indianapolis. Tennessee is still in the playoffs hunt, and Ryan Tannehill is like the second highest scoring fantasy QB other than Lamar Jackson the last, 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it is. I mean, I guess we got to take the Titans seriously here. I'm going to take the Colts because, they need to bounce back from whatever they did last week. I can't remember what they did if they won or lost, but they're in the hunt for the division. And the winner of this game is going to, get a crack at Houston to win the AFC South. It should be a good game, but I'll take the Colts in that one there. And then we got Phillies at Miami. I mean, the Eagles are a mess, but of course Miami's Miami. But listen, we'd love to see Miami pull up an upset here, but we can't hope for too much. I'll take the Eagles in this game. Green Bay's at the Giants. Green Bay's going to win. I mean, they've had 2 kind of baffling losses now. I mean, well, not baffling that they lost to the 49ers, but that they look so bad doing it. And then, of course, the Chargers a couple of weeks ago. But, just when you're looking bad, the Giants are just what you need. They'll bounce back, get the win as they try to battle with Minnesota there for the North. And then we get Cleveland's at Pittsburgh, the rematch of the helmet game, although we're not getting Mason Rudolph in this one, because apparently he stunk just enough where Tomlin felt like he had to pull him when, he pulled him because he didn't want any nonsense again this week. Not much difference between him and Hodges. I'll take the Browns here because I guess the Browns are trying to make a run, and, they're obviously playing better. Although, wait, let me think about this for a second. Pittsburgh's going to be a little too fired up. The game's in Pittsburgh. can't trust the Browns. Are they really going to lose their third-string quarterback, though? I know Connor is out. Now, I'll stick with the Browns, but I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh pulls this one out. But the winner of this game obviously, takes a step forward and getting one of them AFC playoff spots. Washington's in Carolina. The Redskins got a win last week. Congratulations. They're not getting 2 in a row. Panthers season is over because they lost to the Saints, and I'll take the Carolina Panthers in this one. Tampa Bay is at Jacksonville. 2 teams going nowhere, but at least it's Florida where it's sunny. Jameis Winston trying to become the first quarterback in almost 40 years to lead the league in touchdown passes and interceptions. He'll probably find a way to do it. I'll take Tampa to win this game, but nobody cares. We got one other game early. Oh, yeah, San Francisco at Baltimore. I knew there was a big one. Oh, boy, the Ravens look real good, don't they, right? I mean, Lamar Jackson is fantastic. They are just running the ball, moving, just destroying teams, and looking good while doing it. But I'll tell you something right now. You better do this shit in January when you play in New England again. And I don't care that you beat them big in Week 8. You need to do it in January, because if not, all that fun time dancing around Hollywood bullshit isn't going to mean anything. You still got to beat New England when it counts, and obviously Baltimore is built to do it, but they got to do it. And I don't care how many touchdowns Lamar Jackson throws for between now and then. If he doesn't beat New England on January 19th, then all this dancing around is for nothing. I'll take Baltimore to win this game. This will be a good game. I mean, the Niners' defense is ridiculous. I still think Garoppolo's a weak link, and I think he'll be the reason why they can't get to the Super Bowl this year. But we'll see what happens. I mean, he's a good player, but he doesn't have the playoff experience yet. This is a big game. Niners on the road, coming from the West Coast to the East Coast. I'll take Baltimore, but that should be a good game. You got 3 games in the late window on Sunday. You got the Rams at Arizona. The Rams are done. I mean, think about where they were a year ago, coming off the 54-51 win. Offense is unstoppable, on their way to the Super Bowl. They put up 3 points in the Super Bowl, and now this is what they're down to, getting clobbered 45-6 on Monday night. Their season's over. Arizona's feisty. I'll take Arizona in this one. Then we get the Chargers at Denver. The Chargers played themselves out of it. Denver might be starting Drew Lock this week, which I'm a little excited about because I have him in on my taxi squad in one of my dynasty leagues. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get some reps in, because obviously I drafted him for the future. I'll take the Chargers to win, but again, no one's going to be paying attention to this game. The big game late Sunday afternoon, you get the Raiders at the Chiefs. Again, Raiders got caught with their pants down against the Jets. And listen, they'll bounce back and play well, I think, in this game. But Kansas City's coming off the bye. I think Andy Reid has some ridiculous winning percentage coming out of a bye. But I mean, I don't need to take them because of that. The Chiefs are a better team. Pat Mahomes should be back fully fresh at this point. So I'll take the Chiefs to win this game and basically lock up the AFC West. And then Sunday night, get New England at Houston. Houston, again, they're never going to beat New England in a big spot when it counts. And I don't know that they're going to move the ball in this game. I mean, New England's defense is ridiculous. Now, they got a little bit of a break with the weather last week, slowed the Cowboys down, but, I don't know that the weather had that much to do with it. Dak didn't play well. Amari Cooper, pretended he was back on the Raiders and did nothing there. Listen, Stephon Gilmore's a good corner, but come on, get away from him for one play. I mean, come on. But, I take New England in this game, and everybody talking about New England's offense is no good this year. They stink. They got no receivers. Blah, blah, blah. Again, go to sleep on New England and then wake up when they're in the Super Bowl again. So And again, I know Baltimore, feels like they have their number. They have the team to beat them, but until they beat them, New England's the team to beat. And they'll beat Houston this week. And then Monday night, you get Minnesota at Seattle. A little disappointed with Seattle last week. Not that they didn't, they beat Philly, that's good, but they didn't do a whole lot from a fantasy perspective when they really needed them to. But what are you going to do there? At least they got the win over Philly. And, this will be a good game. We need one of those high-scoring, back-and-forth, Russell Wilson classic games. Minnesota is a team that is up to that challenge. They're coming off a bye. They've got a lot of weapons on offense. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like, but hopefully it doesn't deter, so we can get a nice, 41-38 kind of game. But I'll take Seahawks to win, but, both these teams are going to be in the playoffs, and obviously, Seahawks can still, they both can still win the division, but, obviously this will be a big win for either one, but I'll take Seattle. And then there you go. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll try to knock out some turkey tomorrow. Hopefully the Bills knock them out as well, and get this ship back on track in what will be Jason Garrett's final season. All right, so there you go. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see y'all, and enjoy your week.